It may be a rainy day, but it means I get to be productive in other ways. So for example, I've now installed this very nice metal shelving in the greenhouse, which means no more poker days, but more room for growing plants, which is what this is all about. In fact, come to think about it, the show was originally designed to be a beginner's introduction onto how to transform an empty, derelict garden into a brand new haven. And I think we've ever so slightly lost track of that and turned into a bit of a documentary of my life, which is, as you can tell, pretty mad. So I think we're going to start aiming to be a bit more on track. But here's a few things. Since this greenhouse has been installed, and since the hoops over there have been installed and everything else, we've started to realise that things have moved, things have shifted. So the design doesn't necessarily work as well as it did the first time. And I think we're going to need to revisit it. But this is the beauty of it, because as you've seen throughout the series, I've designed pub gardens, we've done Liz and Nigel's garden, and those were second nature to me. In fact, it was incredibly easy to do. But my own garden seems to be my biggest dilemma, because my needs are changing throughout the course of the year, and that means I need to adapt the garden to work towards this. And if I'm hoping to have my luxurious party in 2.5 months, I'm going to have to really up my game. It's time to go back to the drawing board. Right. One of the things that's been really bothering me about this garden is it doesn't excite me. And I think that's why I've been putting it off for so long. I've designed that really gorgeous garden for Liz and Nigel. We've got the show border, and I haven't even revealed to you yet the show garden for August. And those to me are inspiring, are fun. And this doesn't scream it, does it? So the thing that I'm going to do is change this up. And one thing I've learned as a designer over 10 years is every time I design a garden for a client, it's to reflect them and be in their best interest. But this isn't in my best interest. And this is for me. And I don't think I've not done myself a good service. And since we've put in that gorgeous rhino greenhouse, I can't have a shabby garden. If there ever was a lesson to be learnt right now, it's that a garden should truly reflect who you are. Otherwise, what's the point? And this is exactly why I think I've been putting it off for so long, because this garden doesn't scream the excitement and joy and fun that I enjoy in my normal everyday life. It's boring and plain, and it needs some pizzazz in it. I just need to be inspired now. Doesn't need to be like this anymore, I don't think.
How's the design work going?
It's going. It's not. I'm not feeling inspired.
Well, when you need inspiration, you normally go to like a National Trust site.
Do you know, that's not a bad idea. Oh, I do love a National Trust visit.
And there's so many on our doorstep.
Yeah, do you know what? We should take a trip to a National Trust site. I know exactly which one I want to go to.
When I said National Trust, I thought you were going to go Belton or Wimpole, somewhere close.
Well, I thought about it too, but I prefer Stourhead. So I thought, why don't we drive over there?
It's 3.5 hours away.
Yeah, but we'll make a little bit of a trip of it.
I haven't packed anything.
Well, now, don't be mad, but what I've done is I've actually packed one of absolutely everything and just shoved it in the bag.
Including little man stuff?
Yes.
My deodorant?
Yes.
Socks?
Yes.
Change of clothes?
I've got plenty for you.
Sun cream?
I've got that too.
Nappies?
We will get some on the way. Unfortunately for me, Captain Smartass still wasn't finished yet.
What about your plants you just put in the greenhouse? Who's going to look after those?
Well, I've actually come up with a clever idea on that. If you're watching this part of the video, it means that Beth's asked me what am I going to be doing with my plants in the greenhouse whilst we're away on my unplanned trip. And I've got a bit of a secret weapon here. I've got myself an automated watering kit. This really is the lazy gardener's guide to watering. Effectively, what I've got here is a solar pump which connects to all of these little drip waterers, so your own little irrigation system. And the cool thing about it is because it's solar powered, I don't have to worry about connecting it to a mains to pump the water in. It's got its own little gizmo, which is absolutely perfect. Now, as you probably noticed around me, there's no water source, but behind me, I've installed a water butt that connects to this greenhouse, which means all I've got to do is feed the tube from there all the way through the vents into here, and it's watered. How easy is that? The only thing this didn't have was English instructions. Rogato, peppercorni, patti piccoli. I'm sure we can figure it out. First bit doesn't look too difficult. I've got this little hopper here, which I guess collects the water, and I just push it into the tube. And because I've had this in the greenhouse, it's nice and soft. All I've got to do is lob it in the water. So far, so good. The next thing I've got to do is connect this water pump. And I've got a little space there on the fence where I can connect it to, and I'll just pull this wire all the way over there. But it has got these little sensors that I think you chuck straight in the water, which keep an eye on the water level. So if there's no water touching it, it knows that the water's too low and not to activate the pump, which is pretty handy. So it'll stop drying out the old water pump. Oh my God, this is, there we go. In you go. Perfect. Right. Screws in place. Using some stainless steel screws, I attached the water pump to the fence. So there's just 2 more things left to do. Put the pipe for the water in and keep my head out of shot. Now I've got those connected, I need to make sure it gets adequate sunlight. So I'm just going to place this in a high up spot where it gets plenty of sun. And luckily for me, the greenhouse roof will do for now until I sort out something permanent, but I'll get plenty of sunlight to charge the pump. Right. If you were one of those smart people who asked me, did you put that greenhouse a little close to the fence? The answer is, shut up. The out pipe now connected to the pump, the tubing just needed to go into the greenhouse. Right, the cool thing about this greenhouse is got these fantastic glass vents. So what I'm gonna do is just take this reel from the out and just, there we go. Oh, I wanna put it on the bottom. Oh no, try again. Sorry. Ah. Right, in the greenhouse we go. Right, now that I've got all of my irrigation inside, the next part is to connect these little irrigation drippers. And these are fantastic. You just connect a little T-piece on, and there you go. It goes on there, you pop it in the pot, and that drip waters it. And you can set that as well to every 12 hours for 20 minutes. Those are not drying. Now, I'm leaving the tubing about 1 meter longer than it should, because chances are I'm not going to be always having the plants directly here. It'll be dotted around, so I need to make sure it has quite a bit of space. I'm just going to connect this little teak bit there. I need a short bit on the top, just there. Comes apart so easy. Connect it into the little T. There you go. Pop in my dripper and in the plant. Done. One plant connected, it was time to connect all the rest. And as you've noticed, I've done this in fast motion because, quite frankly, it's 15 minutes long, and I guess that would have made a very easy episode for me with editing, but not really entertaining for you guys to watch, really, would it? Do you know, I love doing these overdub things. I can talk over anything, just say whatever I want. Look, that guy's a moron. Nah, just kidding. He's lovely. I mean, he's me. I don't really know why I'm still going. But anyway, it's about 5 more seconds of this. Make sure you like and subscribe and, you know, keep me going. I really want that 100,000 plaque. Now, to stop the water shooting out the end and maintaining pressure, the last one doesn't need a T-joint. It needs to just go straight on like that, and in it goes. Should we see if it works? Right, here we go. Moment of truth. Okay, that should have done it. It works! Well, this is very cool. All of my plants are now happily being watered, and it's solar powered with a water bus. Not only is it sustainable, but it doesn't use any power, and it uses rainwater too, which is actually good for your plants. God, this watering malarkey's easy. I can just leave it. Anyway, I think I've managed to prove my point, haven't I? So, should we go look at some National Trust gardens? See, now, this is how I should be doing my greenhouse. See, I like that this one's a half-sized one, so maybe I could put like some kind of a wall or a trellis in mine and have something growing up it like this. That could be fun. I'm going to need more greenhouse shelving. It's nice to know me and the National Trust have the same in common with our gardens. See, this is what I need. Raised beds, and we've got a hill, so this could work out quite nicely, and I could walk towards our broad beans and our strawberries. What do you think?
Sounds lovely.
I don't think you mean that. See, Betty, this is what's missing. We need to have raspberry canes growing up everywhere, vegetables, everything we could possibly need to grow our own food. That's where we're going wrong.
Didn't you say this was a waste of money and we should just buy it?
Shut up. One thing you may not know is last time I came here, Beth was 5 months pregnant, and whilst I forgot, she hadn't.
Remember when we did this last year?
Yes. Why? Ah, right. Okay. Where do you reckon they've put new turf down? I was about to learn on this trip that not everyone appreciates my commentary. Over there is the Temple of Apollo. You don't give a shit, do you? Look, kiddo, rhododendries. Nope, you're interested in what's on the floor. Okay, never mind. There's nothing more humbling than not impressing your very own children. But still, I pressed on and found something more exciting that might catch his attention, or at least Beth's. You're having fun here, aren't you, darling?
I'm still convinced it's kidnapping.
Well, it appears everyone's a critic these days, but luckily she was about to be lured into a cave, which I guess only strengthens her kidnapping accusations. The only difference is this cave has a view. Wow! Could we have a grotto?
No.
This grotto had an element that I was forgetting in my own garden. The element of surprise. Okay, well, can I at least have a statue with me?
No.
Kind of buzz-killing my inspirational trip, Beth. This was what was missing from my garden. The wow factor. The part that says, I can't believe someone made this. Annoyingly, I wish they hadn't made this, though. Right. Ah. That's probably safe, right?
Do you think it's safe to be doing this with a baby?
Probably not. Come on. Whilst Beth took the safe route and was thinking of lunch,
Looks like cheese.
and took in some of the gorgeous scenery around Stourhead, I persevered up the world's most steepest steps. With a baby.
How you guys doing?
So good. You think they'd invent, I don't know, National Trust escalators? Beth took it upon her to show her sympathetic side.
Are you feeling a bit tired?
Yeah, a little bit.
Now try doing it while you're 5 months pregnant.
But at least this time she got to enjoy the gorgeous scenery without something in her pelvis. So that's something. But she wasn't going to get away with it too easy because I had an idea for a scene that we needed to film. All right, Betty, this is the part where Keira Knightley is proposed to by Mr. I don't know, from Pride and Prejudice. So we're going to reenact that.
I've not seen it.
You never seen Pride and Prejudice? Yeah, me neither, actually. I read the sign that's inside. And she was really wet. Do you mind if I, chuck a bottle of water on you?
I'm out.
What a spoil sport. But luckily, we'd seen everything we needed to, and I was starting to feel more inspired. Well, to have lunch at least.
Do you think this trip's inspired you then?
You know what? I do feel inspired. Have you at least enjoyed your trip here?
My kidnap trip.
No, it's not. You're not kidnapped.
Yeah, I've had a really good time.
Okay. I think I can make our garden look pretty now.
We're not having a grotto.
Oh, come on. A grotto would be fun.
Not having a grotto.
You suck. Inspired and refueled, it was time to design the garden of my dreams. The previous design for my garden didn't really scream my identity at all. In fact, it felt quite basic and a little bit lackluster. And I feel like if I'm going to inspire people to create their own show gardens, it needs to feel like it. And this didn't. So, based on what I've been inspired by over the last week or so, I've been working quite hard, a little bit too far, to the point that this is going to be 3 days late, to make this. So here's the thing, you may notice in the new design, whilst it's got interesting textures and shape compared to this one over here, it's lacking in colour a little bit. And the reason why is because I was given a really good bit of advice over the last few months. I was chatting to Adam Frost of all people about where he got certain plants from his garden. And every time I asked him, he'd say, well, I managed to get that from a show garden I did on that year, or a show garden I did in Chelsea on that year. And that gave me a really good idea because I'm also doing show gardens. So based on that, here's a little sneak peek of my Gardener's World Live border. Now, you've seen this bit before, but to add a little bit of pizzazz, what I did was I added this extra little cottage at the back. Thought it'd be quite fun for photos. So if you're down at Gardener's World Live this year, that'll be there. Make sure you come say hi. But here's a really interesting bit. All of these bits here and all these plants, well, what am I going to do with them afterwards? And that's just one border. We've also got a show garden at the Rutland Flower Show. And all of those plants from the 8 metre by 8 metre plot, I've got to go somewhere. So I might as well recycle them and put them in my own garden. So this gives me two new things to think about. A new garden design which we can implement and actually excites me, but it means I've got to push the gardening party to the end of the month because I need to move all the show garden stuff in here. So this is going to be quite fun, and in terms of how this is going to look at the end, you won't know, and I won't know either. How exciting is that?
Dear Ish, if you're reading this, you may realise that I'm not here by now, and that's because, quite frankly, I've done enough filming with you this week. So therefore, I will not be doing our couch gag scene. Yours, Beth. P.S. Never kidnap me ever again.
Seemed a bit harsh.
P.P.S. No one calls them rhododendries. Stop trying to make it a thing. Love you.